Even virtually, the talk in the commercial breaks is one we wish we could broadcast. All right, we're back with your political predictions for state winners and losers in 2022. Don, we'll stick with you. Your state winner in 2022 will be?
Here is my curveball for Susan. It will, in fact, be Gloria Johnson. I have had an opportunity to look at some of the proposals and see maybe what's happening with redistricting. She is not going to get, her district is not going to get completely consumed, no matter what happens, by Sam's district. But there are going to be two districts. Gloria is going to be able to run in one, Sam to run in a traditional one, and maybe even a third created. This is going to make for a really interesting situation. A lot more problems over on the west side of the state with redistricting for the Republicans and for litigation. But I'm going to predict that Gloria Johnson will find a way to prevail in a district, as will Sam McKenzie, and we will still have at least two Democratic legislators in Nashville from Knox County.
Susan?
Do you want to make a bet on that, Don, or just you tried to get me to vote? You tried to get me to vote against Trump winning, and I refused to do it. And man, did I regret that.
We'll take our lunch bet, Susan, anytime.
My winner for the state again has got to be Cameron Sexton. I think Cameron, number one, is consolidating all of his power through this redistricting. And if you saw, he called a special session last year. He's going to be running the sessions again this year with this new redistricting situation. Now, there's a reason that I think Cameron is doing that. He is most likely going to be someone else that may run for governor in 2026. So we're going to see a lot of the speaker out in a lot of Lincoln Day dinners and a lot of ribbon cuttings and that sort of thing. So watch for that winner, Cameron Sexton, to be very visible in 2022.
Is he politically more powerful than the governor, Susan?
Right now, he possibly is. Donna and I've talked a couple times about the power, the growth and the power of the legislature with this governor. They have certainly had their will in these sessions. They've got special sessions, and the governor signed some of that legislation, but he almost had to. So, yes, I think Cameron is right now the most powerful person in Tennessee.
Don, your political loser of 2022.
Funny, segueing very hard for what Susan just said, I think it's actually going to be Governor Bill Lee. Just a few weeks ago, Vanderbilt had a poll showing him losing 10 points, the lowest drop ever and the lowest ratings ever at this point right now for a governor. I think with the continuation of the legislature pushing Governor Lee to its will and to some of the issues with that, with the fight we're going to continue to have with COVID and with some of the alienation that has been caused with big businesses, again, over some of the COVID issues, I think Governor Lee is going to lose yet more prestige and power. And I would have to, right now, a very tough pick, but I would have to pick Governor Lee as the loser.
Susan, your loser of 2022.
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be U.S. Representative Jim Cooper in the 5th District. One of the discussions going on now is the redistricting of that particular congressional. There's been a lot of growth in the southern part of Davidson and Williamson, Rutherford, Murray. All of those counties have picked up a lot of new people. So in looking at those seats, it may be that Jim Cooper gets put into a newly constituted 5th district, which includes those rural areas and not just Davidson. So if that happens, he might decide to retire and not chance it. But if he does run, I think he's going to, we've got right now at least 3 people that I know are looking at running for that seat, Republicans running for that seat, and I think any one of them could beat him if the district is drawn to the way I just mentioned.
How about the issue that will dominate 2022, Don, at the state level?
I think at the state level, what we're going to see is the slew of pro-life legislation that may come out of Tennessee, subject to what the U.S. Supreme Court rules in both the Texas and Mississippi cases. I think we're going to see a lot of that. That is a wedge issue. Even there are a lot of suburban Republicans that, while they may not support abortion and abortion rights, they're not ready to throw Roe v. Wade completely out. And I think that, coupled with, on a little more positive note, Are we going to see the continued economic growth that we've been seeing? And if so, is that going to be a positive driver for Tennessee? So we're going to see something very contentious and hopefully something very positive as the big issues.
Researchers at the University of Tennessee saying we will see continued growth, according to their latest report at the end of the year that they give to the governor. Susan, your issue that will dominate 2022 at the state level?
Well, I hope it's not going to be the pandemic and mask mandates and lack of mandates. I sure hope that, but I'm telling you, we're starting off with another bang in the new variant, and how many more of those are we going to see? It's been such a political issue. Who would have ever thought that a health science issue like this would become so political? So I'm hoping it's not that. I think the other thing is we're going to see a continuing rise in the power of the General Assembly, as we've discussed before, and that could very well become a huge issue in the politics of the state.
We're going to come back with predictions at the national level for what will happen in 2022 with Don and Susan. We're back right after this.